I'm Richard Freeman, Zoological Director of the Centre for Fortean Zoology. On the 9th of September, 7 members of the Centre for Fortean Zoology from England and 2 members of the Centre for Fortean Zoology from Australia are off to Sumatra to hunt for the orang pendek. There's been a lot of discussion about what the orang pendek is and if it's actually 2 different creatures. Some people believe that there is an undiscovered species of ape and another animal alongside it, or rather another form of human, something within the genus Homo, some small undiscovered species of hominid, perhaps not unlike the Homo floresiensis that was discovered a few years ago on the island of Flores from subfossil bones dating back 12,000 years. And there are stories of Homo floresiensis, or the Ibu Gogo as the local people call it, surviving in the forests of Flores. Well, all the evidence I've seen points towards the orang pendek being an unknown species of ape. I've seen its tracks quite clearly on a number of occasions. They have a very human-like heel, but they have a very well offset big toe that looks semi-prehensile. So it's almost like a little thumb at the side of the foot and 4 toes at the end of the foot. Now that setup is definitely ape, not hominid. I've worked with all the known species of ape and I've seen their tracks in all forms of medium, so I know what an ape's track looks like. This is the track of an ape, but it's different from all other apes. It has a much more human-like heel, but that doesn't make it human. Debbie Marta said, when I told her about the discoveries on Flores, that there were stories from years ago of a race of tiny people that lived in the jungles of Sumatra. They used spears and tools and they made fire and they lived in little tribes, and they were quite distinct from the orang pendek. It's something completely different, but they haven't been reported in decades. So maybe there were once some form of hominid living on Sumatra, but it seems like they're now extinct. The true orang pendek is an ape. And interestingly, it's just come to light that the Homo floresiensis, the Ibu Gogo, may not be in the genus Homo at all. It may be something much more primitive, something much more like the Australopithecines, which we thought had died out 2.5 billion years ago. So that in itself is absolutely mind-boggling, that these creatures were still around 2.5 million years after we thought they had died out, or something very like them, or something related to them. But they're not the same as the orang pendek. If I was a betting man, I'd put money on the orang pendek being very closely related to the orangutan, and perhaps the 3rd species of orangutan. The Bornean and the Sumatran orangutan were once considered to be subspecies. Now they're 2 different species. Pongo pygmaeus, the Bornean orangutan, that's more robust, and the more gracile Sumatran orangutan, which is Pongo abile. And it's known that these 2 speciated whilst Sumatra was part of the massive Sundar landmass, not Sunderland, where Geordie Dave lives, but it was part of a larger landmass that incorporated places like Java, Borneo, the Malayan Peninsula, and the orangutans speciated already whilst they were there, before the islands broke up even. So maybe there was a 3rd species as well, a smaller terrestrial one. That's what I think the orang pendek is.